You just made your final mortgage payment. 30 years of grinding, saving, sacrificing, and your home is finally yours, free and clear. Or so you think. What if I told you that a $50 fine you never even saw could allow a corporate law firm to auction off your $400,000 home legally before you even get a chance to fight back? This is the 2026 HOA foreclosure crisis, and today we're breaking down the top 10 U.S. cities where homeowners associations are legally stripping residents of the homes they worked their entire lives to own. We used to think HOAs were just bored retirees writing angry letters about your lawn. That's over. Wall Street investors have quietly infiltrated neighborhood boards across the country. They've turned the rule book into a weapon, stacking petty violations with thousands in predatory legal fees, then using state law loopholes to seize your property deed. It's fully legal, highly organized, and it's happening in neighborhoods just like yours right now. Number 10. Houston, Texas. Houston looks like a dream on paper, a booming economy, no state income tax, and some of the most affordable housing in any major American city. But here's what the real estate listings won't tell you. Houston has zero municipal zoning laws. Because the city doesn't regulate land use, developers handed that power entirely to HOAs. A staggering 60% of all Houston homes fall under HOA jurisdiction, and in Texas, HOAs don't need a judge to foreclose on you. It's called non-judicial foreclosure. They file a single document, wait a few weeks, and sell your house on the courthouse steps over a landscaping violation. Picture this. You're on your back patio on a warm Texas evening, eating perfectly smoked brisket, feeling completely at home. Then a blacked-out SUV rolls slowly past your house. A drone appears over your fence to inspect your patio umbrella. 3 days later, a certified letter arrives saying your home is going to auction because your umbrella was technically taupe instead of the HOA-approved desert sand. Number 9. Las Vegas. Nevada was built on one idea: separating people from their money. Turns out the suburbs work the same way. In master-planned communities like Henderson and Summerlin, nearly 80% of newly built homes are locked inside strict HOA agreements. In the desert, you don't have a grass lawn, you have rocks, and Vegas HOA boards have weaponized those rocks. A little dust on your gravel, one desert weed surviving the 110-degree heat near your mailbox, and the fines come instantly. Wall Street has flooded these boards specifically to farm violation revenue from casino workers who pull night shifts and can't monitor their own properties during the day. You thought you were buying a piece of the American dream. What you actually bought is the world's most expensive, most stressful landscaping subscription, where the dealer can change the rules mid-game and take your house if you lose. Number 8. Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is one of the fastest-growing housing markets in the entire Southeast, a financial powerhouse packed with educated professionals and stunning suburban neighborhoods. The problem? Those same high-achieving banking executives come home from Wall Street and run their HOA boards like hostile corporate acquisitions. These aren't community organizations, they're revenue extraction machines. Fall behind on dues, and you won't get a phone call or a payment plan. You'll get a team of corporate attorneys burying you in legal fees until surrendering your deed becomes the only way out. You're sitting on your wraparound porch with a glass of sweet tea, listening to the Carolina breeze move through the oak trees. Classic Southern living. Then a process server walks up your driveway and hands you an envelope. Your family home was sold at a courthouse auction yesterday morning because your truck was parked in the driveway instead of inside the garage. Number 7. Orlando, Florida. Orlando sold the world on the idea of a perfectly clean, perfectly happy, magical place to live, and the master-planned communities surrounding the theme parks bought into that same obsession. Around 75% of the housing inventory here sits under HOA control. Here's the trap. Maintaining Disney-level perfection in a hot, humid Florida swamp is biologically impossible. Mildew grows on your siding overnight. Algae turns your driveway green within hours. HOAs know this, and they deploy third-party management companies specifically to harvest violation fees from homeowners who simply can't keep up with the climate.
You're being fined for weather. You're doing a late-night swim in your screened-in pool. You can actually see the Disney fireworks exploding in the distance. Life feels good. Then a golf cart creeps silently up to your property line in the dark. An HOA inspector sweeps a tactical flashlight across your roof, logs a single palm frond touching your gutter as a structural violation, and triggers a foreclosure sequence that will destroy your life by Tuesday.
Number 6. Denver, Colorado. Denver markets itself as the outdoor lover's paradise. Skiing, hiking, fresh mountain air, chill vibes. None of that applies to your HOA. Denver neighborhood associations run some of the most brutal snow removal policies in the country. Your driveway and sidewalk must be completely clear within 4 hours of a storm ending, even if you're stuck at work, even if you're out of town. Miss that window and the fine hits immediately. And here's what makes it genuinely dangerous. In Colorado, HOAs hold super-lien status, meaning their snow shoveling fine legally outranks your actual bank mortgage. You're at the top of a mountain in Vail, strapping into your snowboard, taking in a jaw-dropping view. You pull out your phone to check in, and there's a notification from your neighborhood portal. $5,000 fine. Voting rights suspended. Super-lien placed on your property. Because it snowed 2 inches on a Wednesday and you weren't standing in your driveway with a shovel at 4 a.m. Number 5. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix exploded during the housing boom. Stunning desert neighborhoods, incredible sunsets, and suburbs expanding in every direction. Nearly every new development came with an HOA attached, and every single one of them is running what I call the beige paint cartel. The Arizona sun destroys exterior paint every 3 to 5 years without fail. HOAs don't just tell you to repaint, they mandate that you use their specifically approved, massively overpriced corporate contractors to restore the exact trademarked shade of desert sand. Try to save money and do it yourself? They reject it, fine you, and open a foreclosure file. You're relaxing by your backyard pool. The palm trees are still. The dry desert heat feels perfect. You finally feel like you made it. Then you check the mailbox and find a pre-foreclosure notice from a collections attorney because UV rays faded the stucco on one side of your house by 10%, and you now owe a $500 penalty for visually disrupting neighborhood standards. Number 4. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta is called the city in a forest, and for good reason. The tree canopy here is stunning, and the suburban real estate market has been on fire for years. But those beautiful trees are exactly how the HOA gets you. Atlanta gets hit with violent thunderstorms constantly. Trees fall, and when one does, even if it's threatening your own roof, you cannot just remove it. The HOA's Architectural Control Committee requires a formal 40-page debris removal request before you touch anything. Act fast to protect your own home without written approval? That's an unauthorized architectural modification. Thousands in fines. Refuse to pay? Super-lien. You lose the house. You're drinking your morning coffee, looking out at your wooded Georgia property. It looks like a private nature retreat. Then a summer storm rolls through, lightning drops a pine tree across your driveway, and the very next morning there's a $2,000 HOA citation taped to your front door for operating unapproved heavy machinery in a residential zone. Number 2. Austin, Texas. Austin was the crown jewel of the tech relocation boom. Hundreds of thousands of new residents flooded in, and master-planned HOA communities swallowed every inch of the city's periphery. Now, Austin is living through something terrifying, the corporate voting hijack. When private equity firms bulk buy starter homes to convert to rentals, they also acquire the HOA voting rights attached to every property. In several Austin neighborhoods, institutional investors now own more than 51% of the homes, meaning they control the board, the rules, and the votes. Human families have zero say. Once the hedge fund takes over, dues skyrocket, fines multiply, and the conditions become deliberately hostile, designed to financially suffocate remaining homeowners into selling directly to the corporation.
You show up to the annual HOA meeting ready to fight a 40% dues increase. You walk into the room fired up. The room is empty, except for a single corporate attorney from a New York hedge fund sitting quietly with a briefcase containing 250 proxy votes. Democracy in your neighborhood is officially dead. Number 2. Tampa, Florida. Ground Zero. Tampa is home to some of the most vulnerable residents in America. Retirees, veterans, working-class families who spent decades building equity. It's also home to the most predatory HOA foreclosure attorneys in the entire country, and they know exactly who to target. You don't lose your home here because you went broke. You lose it over a single missed email. Your garage door was cracked 2 inches open to let out some heat. The HOA sends a $50 fine. It goes to your spam folder. Within 60 days, the HOA's law firm has stacked $15,000 in administrative and attorney's fees on top of it. They place a lien on your property, block your ability to pay, and auction your $400,000 home to cover a $50 violation. Tampa HOAs deliberately hunt homeowners who own their properties free and clear. Veterans, retirees, seniors, a paid-off home with no mortgage is the easiest asset to legally seize. You spent 30 years paying off your house, raising your kids inside those walls, building your life, and a corporate attorney took all of it because your mailbox was leaning slightly to the left.